Loud people try to convince you they are powerful. Calm people never feel the need to explain. And psychology tells us why. The most dangerous individuals in any room are not the loudest. They are the quietest. Because calm is not weakness. Calm is control. Most people think power is loud. They think confidence means talking more, explaining more, proving more. But psychology shows the opposite. The calmer a person is, the less they feel the need to seek validation. Calm people don't rush to speak. They pause. They observe. They choose their words carefully. And this creates something powerful: uncertainty. When someone doesn't react immediately, the brain of the other person starts filling in the gaps. Why aren't they responding? What do they know that I don't? Am I missing something? This is why calm people are often perceived as intelligent, confident, and dominant, even when they say very little. Silence is uncomfortable for most people, not because silence is dangerous, but because it forces the mind to work. When you stay silent, the other person begins to fill the gap. They start explaining, justifying, revealing. Calm people understand this. They don't interrupt. They don't rush. They let the silence stretch. And in that space, people expose their intentions, their insecurities, and their emotional state. This is why silence feels powerful. It removes control from the other person without aggression. And the brain interprets that as dominance. Every interaction has an emotional frame. Someone is calm. Someone is reactive. And the person who stays calm always controls the direction of the interaction. Calm people don't absorb emotional chaos. They don't mirror anger. They don't match tension. They don't escalate. Calm confidence intimidates people for one simple reason. It cannot be read. Loud confidence tells you everything: the ego, the insecurity, the intention. Calm confidence reveals nothing, and the human brain fears what it cannot predict. When someone stays calm, unreactive, and emotionally neutral, the mind starts searching for answers. What are they thinking? Do they know something I don't? Why aren't they responding? This uncertainty creates pressure, not aggression, not fear, but psychological unease. And most people mistake calm confidence is not just psychological, it is biological. The human nervous system is constantly scanning for signs of stability and threat. People who react emotionally signal instability. Raised voices, rapid movements, defensive explanations. The brain interprets these signals as lack of control. Calm people send the opposite signal. Their breathing stays steady. Their voice stays slow. Their movements stay deliberate. This tells the brain something important. This person is safe under pressure. And in human psychology, the one who stays stable under pressure is assumed to have power. Manipulation depends on emotion. It needs reaction. It needs urgency. It needs instability. Calm people offer none of it. They don't rush to respond. They don't defend themselves. They don't explain unnecessarily. This starves manipulation. Without emotional fuel, manipulative tactics collapse. Guilt doesn't work. Pressure doesn't work. Fear doesn't work. Because calm people do something rare. They stay present without becoming reactive. And when manipulation has nothing to grab onto, it dies quietly. You see this pattern everywhere: in leadership, in negotiations, in conflict. The calm person rarely speaks first. They listen, they wait, they let others reveal themselves. When tension rises, they do not rise with it. They slow down, and this shift changes everything. People begin to defer, they adjust their tone, they start seeking approval, not because the calm person demanded it, but because calm presence reframes the entire situation. This is why the most effective leaders, strategists, and negotiators are almost always controlled and quiet. Calm people are not emotionless. They feel everything. They just don't let emotion decide their behavior. Instead of reacting, they pause. Instead of defending, they observe. Instead of rushing, they wait. Calm people understand something most don't. You don't need to respond to everything. You don't need to correct every misunderstanding. You don't need to prove yourself in every moment. They think long-term. They choose when to speak, when to act, and when to stay silent. That restraint is what makes them powerful. Calm confidence is not a personality trait. It is a skill. And like any skill, it is trained through repetition. Calm people practice restraint. They don't respond immediately. They don't fill silence. They don't rush to defend themselves. They slow their breathing. They slow their speech. They slow their reactions. This creates distance between emotion and action. Over time, that distance becomes control, and control becomes presence. The most dangerous people don't announce themselves. They don't raise their voice. They don't demand attention. They don't explain their power. They stay calm. Because calm people understand something most never learn. You don't need to dominate to control a situation. You don't need to speak to be heard. And you don't need to react to maintain power. Calm is not the absence of strength. Calm is strength.